Welcome back students to the second video of the chapter Freedom of India. So now let's start. The coming of the Mahatma. After his university educations, Gandhiji went to London to train as a barrister, means lawyer. After his training, he went to South Africa to work in a law firm. There he was surprised to see the treatment of the black people at the hand of the minority white population. Means the white people but treating the black people badly. Okay, he stayed in South Africa for almost 20 years and was sent to prison many times. He protested against the domination of the whites and fought for the basic rights of the blacks, including some Indian immigrant. So immigrant means a person who leaves his own country to settle permanently in another country. Okay, so for their rights he fought. Gandhiji returned to India in 1915. He came back and went around the country to see the condition that the common people of India were facing. He encouraged the people to fight the British through Satyagraha and Ahimsa. Okay, so Satyagraha means devotion to truth and Ahimsa means non-violence. These are his weapons to fight against the British. He travelled to various parts of country and realized that the society was divided on the basis of caste system. Means there was a discrimination in the society on the basis of caste system. There were poverty, illiteracy, untouchability, and the people were being exploited by the British. Gandhiji realized that in order to gain independence from the British, it was important to unite the Indians first. Okay, first we need to unite. Then only we can fight against the British and gain independence. He enjoyed tremendous following among the common Indians as millions from various sections of the society joined his cause. So, millions of people supported him. He strongly opposed social evils such as untouchability. Khilafat movement. So this movement was started initially by the Muslim leaders against the British following the events of the First World War. So why it happens? Let us know. The British before the war had promised the Muslim that the powers of the Sultan of Turkey will not be taken away after the war. Okay, so the British promised the Muslims that the power of the Sultan of the Turkey will remain the same. Okay, will not hamper due to the war. So that they would support them during the war. So they have to support them during the war. But after the war ended, they broke their promise. In the First World War, Turkey had fought against the British and the Sultan of Turkey was the Caliph or the supreme religious leader of all Muslims in the world. So when the British went back to their words, okay, they don't remain on their words, the Muslims were really angry with them and they began this Khilafat movement. Now the next one is Jallianwala Bagh. So in 1919, the British passed a new law which is called the Rowlatt Act. So under this act, what happened? Any person could be arrested and imprisoned without a trial. Means they are free to arrest anyone without a trial. Gandhiji and other Congress leaders asked the people to oppose the law and hold meetings and demonstration. And on 13 April 1990, a peaceful public meeting was organized in the Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar, where thousands of men, women and children attended the meeting. General Dyer blocked the one exit of the park and asked his troops to open fire at the crowd. Okay, so what they did, they just blocked the only exit of the park. They told the armies to open fire at the crowd. So thousands were killed, including women and children. The country was shocked and Gandhiji concluded that India should demand complete independence or Purna Swaraj. Okay, so this was a very inhuman incident. Now, non-cooperation movement. So Gandhiji launched the non-cooperation movement in 1920. He asked the people of India not to work in government offices, resign from their job, law firms, schools, colleges, and boycott all British goods. Means to boycott everything of the British. Gandhiji believed in peaceful protest. The struggle for independence was gaining momentum and mass support, but in 1922, at Chauri Chaura in Uttar Pradesh, an angry mob set fire to the police station. So there was a mass support for this movement, but in 1922, angry mob they set fire to the police station, and in that incident 22 policemen lost their lives. So Gandhiji was deeply disturbed by the violent turn of the movement, and then he decided to call it off. Because he was a believer of non-violence. Now, Simon Commission. So since there was a widespread unrest in India, the British introduced certain changes in their governance. As a result, a committee was formed under Sir Simon to make necessary modification to the existing law. But however, there was no Indians in the commission. So the people decided to boycott it. So the commission came to India in 1929 and was greeted with demonstration and slogans of Simon go back. But during one such demonstration, Lala Lajpat Rai was hit badly on his head and passed away from his injury. Next is new leadership. So a number of new leaders had come up in the interim, means in the interval, like Rajendra Prasad, Abul Kalam Azad, Sarojini Naidu, Motilal Nehru and Jawaharlal Nehru. And Ballabh Pant assumed leadership roles. Some other names worth mentioning are Sri Rajagopalachari and Chittaranjan Das. So these are some of the new leaders. Now Dandi marches. The British law were unfair and unjust, and one such law was the salt law. So according to this law, the Indians were not allowed to make salt from the sea water. Instead, they had to purchase the salt from the British at a higher price. So Gandhi decided to defy this law, and he along with his followers walked 300 kilometers from Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad to Dandi, which is a small village near the seashore in Gujarat. This journey was historically called the Dandi March. And on reaching there, Gandhiji and his followers broke the salt law by making salt. So they make the salt and thus broke the law. There were lathi charged, many were injured, but they stood united in their resolve. This was the beginning of the civil disobedience movement. And civil disobedience movement. At the Lahore session of 1929, the Congress declared that it wanted complete independence from the British, and this gave shape to the civil disobedience movement. So they want complete independence from the British rule. The Dandi March had already motivated the people. The movement saw active participation from various parts of the India. So many people took part in this movement. In the northwestern part of India, the movement was led by Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, who was also known as the Frontier Gandhi. Second World War and the Quit India movement. So World War II broke out in 1939. The British decided to participate in the war and send Indian troops to fight without consulting the Indian leaders. So they sent Indian troops to fight in that war without consulting the Indian leaders. On 8 August 1942, at the All India Congress Committee session in Mumbai, Gandhiji launched the Quit India movement. And the next day, Gandhi, Nehru and many other leaders were arrested. This angered the Indian people, and they held demonstrations all over the India. Gandhiji called for a voluntary British withdrawal from India and gave the slogan "Do or Die." So voluntary means willingly. So he gave the slogan of "Do or Die." Thousands were injured and many were killed during the Quit India movement. Strikes were held in many places. The British suppressed many of these demonstrations by mass arrest, means they arrest many people, and more than 100,000 people were put in jail. Women too participated in the movement in large number. Not only men, women also participate in this movement. The Quit India movement united the people of India, and after the World War II, the demand for complete independence became stronger. Now they strongly protest against the British. Now Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Netaji played a very important role in the freedom struggle. He became the president of the Congress twice. Okay. He was also sent to jail by the British a number of times. In 1941, he managed to leave India through Afghanistan. Now, he was in Japan in 1943 and organized an armed struggle against the British from outskirts of the country. Okay, so there he organized an army to fight against the British. He formed the Indian National Army to free India from the British rule. So, who formed the Indian National Army? Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The army also had a women regiment which is called Rani Jhansi Regiment, and the call Jai Hind was given by whom? Netaji. India gains freedom. So the British followed the policy of divide and rule, as we have learned earlier, right, to weaken the unity of the nation. The British government agreed to the demand of the Muslim League to divide India into two countries, India and Pakistan. It was in his speech as the first Prime Minister of independent India that Nehru uttered the wonderful words, "At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom." Indian leaders were deeply saddened by this development. They were upset. On 14 August 1947, at the stroke of midnight, India became free, and a new nation called Pakistan was formed out of India, which became an Islamic state. The first president of India was Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru became the first prime minister of free India. Now a short note has been given here. After independence, a constituent assembly was set up to draft the Constitution of India. So after independence, a constitution was drafted by the Constituent Assembly. The constitution was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949, and it came into effect on 26 January 1950. 26 January was chosen as a tribute to the declaration of Purna Swaraj in 1930. Dr. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar is regarded as the main architect of the Indian Constitution. So he was regarded as the main architect of the Indian Constitution. So this is all about the chapter. So student, please go through both the videos and we will meet in our next class. Thank you.